Hey everybody, Marcos Viegas here, being joined with Paulie Malignaggi here in Las Vegas, right in the middle of fight week. It's been pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's and I'm sure it's going to get even crazier.
How's your schedule been so far, man? I see you here at Radio Row and doing interviews, so I would imagine it's just as crazy as one of your fights.
Yeah, and I still got to get another workout in today, so it's been a crazy week between work and working out. I got my own fight coming up, so I can't say there hasn't been 1 or 2 days where I haven't regretted it.
Well, I know you're pressed for time. We'll go ahead and get this started. We're going to do a very special game, and for our viewers, you've seen me do this little breakdown of Mayweather versus Pacquiao with Freddie Roach, and now it's Paulie Malignaggi's turn. So let's go ahead and turn over the graphic here. So, Paulie, there's 9 categories in which I want you to place either a money sticker or a Pacquiao sticker on each category. So we're going to go ahead and run down the categories, and we'll go ahead and break down the fight. So the first category is power. Who do you give the advantage to? Who do you place the sticker on?
I give Manny Pacquiao the power advantage. I think you rate power based on your ability to hurt your opponent with one shot. I think if there's a one-punch knockout, it would probably be Pacquiao giving it to Mayweather. I don't think Floyd could knock out Pacquiao with one shot. So as far as pure power, the advantage goes to Manny Pacquiao for me.
All right. So now we go on in the category of speed. Both fighters having fast footwork, but that's another category. Fast hands, fast reflexes. Who do you give that advantage to?
Well, speed is a different can be factored in different ways. Your ability to control range also dictates your speed. Your ability to pull the trigger dictates your speed. I don't see, as far as range control here. So as far as, to me, the guy who's speedy, because they're both fast. The guy who's going to control the fight with his speed is a person that controls the range. And for me, Floyd's going to control the range because he's best at that. Pacquiao a lot of times tends to jump in and do things wrong in order to close range. Maybe he gets away with it against certain fighters. I don't see him getting away with it against somebody like Floyd Mayweather, who can probably make him pay or make him miss altogether. So as far as speed is concerned, I think it's a toss-up as far as pure speed is concerned. Maybe even Pacquiao has the advantage, but because Floyd has better distance control, I think it's his speed that's going to have the advantage in this particular fight. And for that reason, I picked Floyd.
So now, just to let you know, too, you can put 2 stickers on both categories. It could be a draw. But we're moving now to footwork. Paulie, who do you place the sticker on next?
People talk about Manny's footwork, and he's got some very distinct footwork, sometimes even awkward footwork. Floyd's footwork, I think, is kind of fallen off of late. He doesn't use his legs as much. But at the same time, I also think Manny's footwork a lot of times is, I think it's harsh to call it overrated, but he moves and he doesn't even know why he's moving. He's just moving around the ring. And, if you're against flat-footed fighters, that might work. Somebody like Floyd will cut you off. It's kind of a hard decision here because pure footwork probably hit the advantages of Manny Pacquiao. The question is whether he knows how to use that advantage, but I'll give the advantage to Pacquiao.
Another tough one coming up. Stand 'em up. Both fighters can go for 13, 14, 15 rounds. But in your opinion, who has the bigger gas tank?
Both guys have had a very good gas tank in the years. Obviously, without a good gas tank, you wouldn't be at this level. But I think in the past year, it's been very obvious that Manny's output in fights has changed. Manny's not as busy in his fights. Manny's not able to throw as hard throughout 12 rounds. Classify that for what you want to classify it to. I give the advantage to Floyd Mayweather for that reason. He's been more consistent in his stamina than has Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao has had a lot of stamina in certain fights, and then certain other fights, stamina hasn't been very impressive at all. I think he needs to be busy in this fight, so stamina could come into play if he tries to be too busy. But I give the advantage to Floyd Mayweather because he's been more consistent in his stamina throughout.
So this next one coming up might be a no-brainer, but, why not? Why not put it on there? Ring IQ. Now, before we put a sticker on there and having a little malfunction on this board, Paulie, you put ring IQ for Floyd. Floyd's known. Well, we're going to get to that. Is that your pick for ring IQ, Floyd?
Yeah, I think that one's a no-brainer, too.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. But does Manny have underrated ring IQ, you feel, in any way?
No, I don't. If his ring IQ was at any point worth underrating, he wouldn't have walked into a punch the 4th time he fought Juan Manuel Marquez. I think by that point in a fight, by that many times you've fought a guy, you know when overdoing it is too much. Over aggressiveness is too much. The part of a reason for letting your emotions start to dictate the pace, or letting other things factor into your process and the way you think in the ring in certain moments. It's part of your ring IQ. If you get too emotional in the ring, or if you let certain distractions get in the way of your thought process, or get in the way of the game plan, then maybe your ring IQ is not as high as it should be. For me, Floyd Mayweather is the best at maintaining a certain game plan and executing it and staying with it and being consistent with it. And for that reason, I give Floyd Mayweather the advantage.
All right, we're closing in on the finale of this. Next up, I have the category of heart. Paulie, who do you give it to?
Heart is tricky because Manny has a lot of heart. But doesn't necessarily mean Floyd doesn't have heart. To have that undefeated record and to take on all the comers that Floyd has taken on, you have to have a lot of heart as well. And so I think I make it even. I don't think either guy is deficient in heart in any way. I think you could easily make a case for both guys having a ton of heart, and because of that, it's hard to choose between them. And no surprises, fighters don't get to this level without having a lot of heart.
Paulie places both a sticker for Floyd and a sticker for Manny in the category of heart. But Floyd right now up 4-3 in this breakdown. Chin. Paulie, who can take more punishment? Who has a better chin, more durable chin?
No, this is a tricky question because Floyd's chin hasn't necessarily been tested like crazy, but when it has, it's held up. Manny's chin obviously gets tested more because he gets hit more. but one's been knocked out, one hasn't. I think you can only go by what's on paper at this point in this fight. I don't think either guy's a bad chin, but Floyd's chin is the better chin, so I give Floyd the advantage.
Speaking of Floyd's chin, he took a punch from Maidana in that second fight, in which some fans who were watching could say that maybe the tooth flew out when it connected with that shot. But very underrated chin, no? Because he's taken some good punches. Mosley, Maidana, and he stood there.
Yeah. It doesn't mean he didn't feel them, but he's been able to stay on his feet, and that goes a long way.
Now moving on to the category of experience. Floyd having a very celebrated amateur background. Manny fighting since he was a little kid. Both men, ton of fights in between them. So who takes this one?
I don't think you can pick a winner in the experience factor. I think both guys have a tremendous amount of experience, and they've both shown it, and they've both improved because of it. I don't think one guy has an advantage over the other when it comes to experience. So this is going to be another one where I'm going to have to pick both guys, and that's where we're going to go here. Both guys have the experience. I don't think there's a distinct advantage in experience for either guy.
All right, now we come to the very last one. It seems so far that there's a lot of categories that both guys are competitive, but Floyd on this breakdown is kind of pulling through in terms of categories, tools that he has to beat Manny. The X Factor. Who's the guy that has that one thing that could completely change the fight on May 2nd?
And the X Factor is awkward because it can be a lot of things. It can be, what is the risk the other one is willing to take when behind in the fight? I think we've never seen Floyd Mayweather in a situation where he's so behind, so we don't know what risks he's willing to take, a la Sugar Ray Leonard against Tommy Hearns, for example, where he had to go to the puncher. We don't know that if Floyd Mayweather has that in him. Just because we haven't seen it, though, don't make the mistake of just assuming he doesn't have it. I think too many people assume when somebody hasn't been hit, he doesn't have a chin, or if somebody hasn't experienced being behind in a fight, that he won't chase the win if he's behind. I think Manny Pacquiao has a lot of heart. I think he's clearly shown that when it comes down to it, he's willing to grind and go for the gusto if he has to. I would give Pacquiao the advantage in X Factor because of the fact that we've seen him behind in fights and try to chase the win and try to, even despite bleeding and whatnot. But it doesn't mean Floyd Mayweather won't do the same thing. But I guess we can only go assume by what we've seen. And so I'll give Manny Pacquiao the X Factor advantage. But I don't know that X Factor will come into play in the fight, but we'll see.
All right, now tallying the totals for the board, we have power, footwork, heart a tie, experience a tie, and X Factor the Manny. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Manny, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Floyd. Based on this, and I know it's not an indicator whatsoever of the fight, it seems that they're matched pretty closely, and it could be a really competitive fight. Now, Paulie, will it be a competitive fight, or will it be a blowout?
Well, I've gone on the record as saying I don't expect it to be very competitive. When you take my analysis this way, though, it tells you it will be competitive. I got to be honest. I hope this analysis is more what proves to be the actual fight, in which it's a close competitive fight. I feel like in the end, the intangibles of Floyd's ring IQ and understanding what decisions to make in certain key factors, which also could have factored into X Factor, by the way. But I think those will eventually, pull Floyd ahead and pull a Floyd ahead comfortably. But we'll see. Like I said, my breakdown here of the full-blown analysis is pretty close.
When you look at it, are you surprised about anything?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I stand by what I've put up there. Despite the final tallies, I mean, I stand by and I strongly agree with myself on those numbers, on those final tallies.
It's always a good thing to agree with yourself, right?
Of course, yeah. You don't want to ever have fight with yourself too much. That's how you become a schizo.
Paulie, thank you very much. Certainly appreciate it. Glad you went ahead and did this with us. Go ahead and let us know what you guys think about this breakdown. Do you agree with Paulie's choices? Go ahead and let us know. Where would you put all these stickers on which categories as well? We're going to go ahead and look for your comments and go ahead and interact with you guys on this. Now, closing shop here in Las Vegas. Media Week coming up May 2nd, though, the big fight at the MGM Grand. I'm Marcos Viegas. Joined with Paulie Malignaggi. Thank you guys for watching.